with J.R. Schleuger from Lifetime Nut Covers, and he is showing us his, what year is this?
58 Needle Nose Kenworth.
Okay. So this thing's got a little bit of a twist to it.
Yeah, a little bit of a twist. So what we did here, it's a 58 Needle Nose Kenworth. We put a big block Chevy 632 in it. It's on twin turbos. So at 7 pounds of boost, we're making 1,500 horse with the thing.
Okay, so give me a rundown of everything you did to the truck and how long it took you to put it together.
It literally took us 3.5 months to do it from start to finish. We basically started with a cab, a hood, and the radiator.
Wow.
There really wasn't much there. I mean, we have like over 70 hours just in the front fenders because they were just trash. We had to weld them back together and body work them, and I mean, just tons and tons of time involved in that. No filler panels. We had to extend the hood 6.5 inches. So we have all that wrapped up in here. Travis with 2Bs, upholstery did the interior.
Okay. Yeah, it's beautiful.
It turned out very nice. He wasn't even supposed to do a button tuck in there. He's
really?
Like, no, he's like, I've never done a button tuck on a needle nose. And I was like, that's fine. He goes, well, I'll just do diamonds. I'm like, all right, that'll work. And it showed up button tuck. And we stuffed it in there. I mean, it was the tightest interior I've ever done. I mean, trying to get everything to actually squeeze in and go together. It turned out awesome.
Well, he does amazing work.
He does. He does every one of my trucks.
If you're going to do a Kenworth interior, that's the guy. I mean, he is the Kenworth interior guy.
Exactly.
So,
and he gets, I don't know, like all the people that work for me, they're like, this guy has got to hate you, because I call him with a very short time frame. It's like, hey, we got a stupid idea, let's build this now, and I need it in like a couple weeks. And so he's a great guy to work with. But all the paint on here was actually done by Nick Moore's Customs.
Okay.
I mean, we did everything in our shop. The only thing that was not painted in our shop was the fuel tanks and fenders. Everything else is painted, sitting right where it was built. Like, we did something a little different here. Like on the suspension, we took the whole entire suspension completely apart, every single piece. So we had 176 individual pieces, and we painted everything gunmetal gray, and then we reinstalled it, put it all back together, and then painted the whole frame, and then slipped the frame back down on the suspension without scratching anything somehow.
Okay.
Just a two-tone.
I saw your TikTok post with the leaf spring slip. Did you wind up doing that?
We did not. We actually got it to work. And I called the company that was supposed to de-arch my springs, and he's like, I never actually thought of that. That will work. And he goes, that's actually a safer way to do it than me de-arching the springs. So we put it all together. We got it to work. It took us like 65 pounds of air to get 4 inches of lift out of it.
Oh, wow.
So like, this thing's going to ride like a lumber wagon.
A little too low.
Yeah. So, I mean, it set it wherever the heck we wanted to go. I mean, we could have probably put a 12-inch bumper on it. It was stupid.
Wow.
But it was to the point that it wasn't right.
It's still got to be drivable.
Yes. Yep. It has to be functional, because the guy when I was talking to, he goes, for what you're doing with this thing, he goes, you're not really going to work it or drive it. I'm like, actually, we are. And he's like, it doesn't sound like you are. We actually are. And so he just thought it was going to be like a showpiece and sit somewhere. And it's like, no, I actually want to drive it and be comfortable and make everything work. So
cool. So I think you said at the beginning, it's how much horsepower is it?
1,500.
1,500.
So
okay.
we had a ton of help with like Steve Morris race engines, Wilson manifolds, BTR. We were going to do a manual transmission in it. We could not get it to work.
Okay.
We had a fully built one, and it wouldn't hold everything we were doing with it. So we ended up having to go with an automatic. So Hughes Performance actually built the transmission for us. So the transmission's good to 2,500 horse. It's got a 9-disc locking delivery, so it's technically a 5-speed transmission. Okay. We control the whole thing off a Holley Terminator Max system, so that runs everything on the motor and transmission.
Okay. And is it electronic where you can dial the horsepower back if you want to make it a little...
Yep, because it's actually running on a E85 system, or E85 fuel. So it has a flex fuel sensor in there to where... If we actually, if we get into a situation somewhere where we can't get E85 fuel, we can get 91. The flex fueling will actually take, and it'll tell the computer as it's flowing up there to detune the motor back.
Gotcha.
So it's kind of a safety deal that we thought, because where we're at in Iowa, you can't get E85 everywhere. I mean,
Right.
we still got to drive like 15 miles to the closest place to get it. So
Okay. Yeah. What kind of trailer are you gonna pull behind it?
we have a 48 foot, well, we have two 48-foot enclosed race car trailers.
Okay.
Cool. Those. The other thing out here, I guess, the rear end's it actually drives off the front rear end. The back one's technically a dummy. It's all there. We just built a aluminum cover, pulled the center section out,
Okay.
blocked all that off, cut the axles off in the end, filled it all back up with oil, and just has we put a quick dump valve on the back valve, or on the back rear end, so that way if you pull into a yard or a drag strip or something and it has a little bit of peak of a driveway, you can quick dump that valve and just right on the front so it won't high center it.
Okay.
There was just a lot of little things we had to think about on here, especially like with this motor. You can't put an air compressor on it, so that was our next thing. I wanted to run with air brakes and air ride and keep it like a big truck and everything. So we ended up getting a military grade electric air pump that sits in the passenger side box.
Okay.
Still runs through an air evaporator, comes in and fills the whole system and charges that.
Okay.
So there was a lot of researching and thinking of how we're actually going to make this work. And
Yeah. I mean,
become
that's unreal. You got it all come together in 3 months.
Yeah, that was the fun part.
Like I said, I was watching the TikToks of it come together until you cut it off.
Yeah, and we left it gold.
Yeah. So is it straight piped or can you?
It's actually true dual straight pipe.
Okay.
So we don't have mufflers in it. We were actually concerned how loud it was going to be or what it was going to sound like.
Yeah.
So we were actually thinking if it sounded like crap, we were going to put cutouts underneath and like drop it underneath the cab.
Yeah.
But it actually is very loud and it actually has a very good tone. It almost sounds like a KTA.
I've seen the videos.
Yeah.
But hopefully I get to see it. When are you guys pulling it out? As soon as possible.
As soon as possible is what we're thinking today.
Yeah.
Because of course where we're at down here, I mean, for everybody to get out, we almost have to be out of the way.
Yeah.
So we have to like hurry up and pack up and get moved out.
Yeah. I don't know if you mentioned, what kind of frame is it on?
It's actually on a 97 Kenworth frame.
Okay.
We just took the front end and we cut all that. We moved the whole suspension back 6.5 inches to actually make the wheel wells sit correctly in these fenders.
Gotcha. That makes sense. Cool. Well, hopefully, timing-wise, with us moving out and you moving out and all the madness at the end of the show, I can maybe get together with you and get some rolling footage, but no promises on that for sure. But we'll see. Hopefully that works out. But thank you so much.
Absolutely.
For sharing this with us. And hopefully at some point, maybe not this video, I'll get some footage of this thing moving down the road. So, all right.
Like I said, we haven't gone anywhere except around the loop with it and like laid into a couple times around the loop, but it gets up and moves.
I bet it does. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, Steve. Thank you.